Well, I have to say that this is probably the best Apocrypha episode to date. I admit that's not saying much, but it's still true.
And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
That's right.
Of the seed of man.
The word seed is sperm, and sperm comes through having sex.
It's shut out of your father's rod.
Right.
Put it in layman terms, in his penis.
That's right.
That means a man put his penis in a woman and bust off in it.
Then the angel said to him, "Take out the entrails of this fish, and lay up his heart and his gall and his liver for thee. For these are necessary for useful medicines."
The rest of the chapters of the book of Esther,
Go ahead.
which are found neither in the Hebrew nor in the Chaldee.
Greetings, fellow worker slaves, podcasting at 128 kilobits from the Fortress of Squalitude. This is the Atheist in the Trailer Park podcast. I'm your host, Tucker. Professor Fuzznuts is busy pacing around in the kitchen for reasons I'll get to in a moment. Yes, it's a podcast hosted by a guy and his cat. Get over it. And I know I promised that I was going to have part 2 of the news episode out this week, but I kind of had a bit of a rough week and wasn't able to edit it to my satisfaction. Most of it was just due to me having a bad case of insomnia and not being able to sleep or concentrate on much when I was awake. I had planned to take another stab at editing the episode on Friday, but 2 things happened which made that impossible. The first is that as I was walking home from work, I wound up rescuing a kitten from the middle of the road. Since I was about 100 yards from work and in an industrial park, it was fairly obvious that somebody had just dumped her there. Certainly no mama cat to be found, and she's too small to survive on her own. So rather than live with the guilt of abandoning her to get squished in traffic or starving to death, I brought her home. I've got her locked up in my bedroom where she's got plenty of food and water as well as Houdini's old litter box. Fuzznuts, as he is with all other cats, hates her. She's so small that I dare not let him get anywhere near her as he'd kill her. I wasn't looking for another cat, and certainly if I was going to get one, it'd be either a black or a tuxedo cat, not a gray tabby. But I'm a softie and just couldn't bear the idea of abandoning her once I got her out of the road, so now she's here. I haven't thought of a name for her as of yet, and yes, I will have pictures of her in the show notes. Whatever I call her, I want the name to reflect her personality as well as cause people to have the same kind of spit take they do when they hear the name of Professor Fuzznuts. So far, the only things I've been able to ascertain about her personality is that she's really good at hiding and she likes to attack things. I am open to suggestions if anyone cares to make them. The second reason is that basically, at the last minute, Andy from the ORLY Radio podcast asked me to be a guest on his show, and considering he'd already agreed to be a guest on this show for this week, I couldn't exactly turn him down. Not to mention that he's now a Patreon supporter. That will have to do it for now. I will try to get part of the news episode out as a bonus episode this week, and the rest of it out as a Patreon-only episode in the near future. Now, here's Andy and I reading yet more of the wisdom of Jesus, son of Sirach.
Okay, so this is it Sir or Surah or?
It's Sirach. This is the wisdom of Jesus, son of Sirach, which it's supposedly written well before Jesus, is thought to have lived, but the way it reads, it seems to have been written well after Christianity, and somebody back, wrote it to make it look old.
Yeah, it's the best way to do prophecies when they've already happened.
Yeah,
and you can talk about exactly what happened as if it was always supposed to happen that way. Yeah. That always works out. Okay, so the son of Sirach, 36. Have mercy upon us, O Lord, of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all nations that seek not after thee. Lift up thy hand against the strange nations, and let them see thy power.
As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us. Okay. And
right.
Let them know thee, as we have known thee, that there is no God, but only thou, O God. Okay.
So, King James.
Yeah. Shew new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they might set forth thy wondrous works.
Such wonders you'll see. Such wonders.
Well, I'm wondering why they're telling, a guy who can do anything at the snap of his fingers, why he's got to do something.
Well, he just has to have that ego stroked. Just a little bit,
Or something stroked.
Pay tribute to me, otherwise I will ignore you. That kind of thing. Raise up indignation and pour out wrath. Take away the adversary and destroy the enemy. Sake the time short, remember the covenant, and let them declare thy wonderful works. Let him that escapeth, be consumed by the rage of the fire, and let them perish that oppress the people. Escapeth. Really? Escapeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've often thought that whoever wrote this had gone to the Sylvester the Cat School of Elocution.
Oh, that would be a wonderful wife.
Smite in sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say, there is none other but we. Well, yeah, that's really happened. Gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them as from the beginning. Okay.
Right.
O Lord, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel whom thou hast named thy firstborn.
Should be probably firstborneth.
Yeah.
O be merciful unto Jerusalem, thy holy city, the place of thy rest. Fill Sion with thine unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name.
Yeah. Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful. Okay.
Sure, why not?
O Lord, hear the prayer of thy servants, according to the blessing of Aaron over thy people, that all they which dwell upon the earth may know that thou art the Lord, the eternal God. The belly devoureth all meats, yet one meat is better than another.
Bout chicka wow wow?
Uh-huh.
That's all I can think about that one. A little, Yeah, that's an allusion. Something.
So they're telling you to swallow. Don't be a spitter.
Clearly. As the palate tasteth... yes, this really is exactly like that. Okay. As the palate tasteth divers kind of venison, so doth an heart of understanding false speeches. So doth an heart of understanding false speeches.
I have no idea.
These words mean not what they think they mean. Okay. Yeah. A forward heart causeth heaviness, but a man of experience will recompense him. Oh, right. Sure. What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything. Okay. A woman will receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another. That's a question for the ages right there.
Yeah.
The beauty of women cheereth the countenance, and a man loveth nothing better. Hey, this is getting good now. Yeah.
If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue,
see,
then is not her husband like other men.
This went places. I did not expect this turn.
Yeah, no, this is a little more ribald than the other sections of the book. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
There need to be more THs at the end of some of those words.
Yeah. where no hedge is, so obviously he likes them shaved, there, there the possession is spoiled, and he that hath no wife will wander up and down mourning.
Oh, and it's mourning like sad, not mourning like top of the morning to you.
Yeah. Who will trust a thief well appointed that skippeth from city to city? So who will believe a man that hath no house and lodgeth wheresoever the night taketh him? So don't listen to the homeless people.
That's pretty much it, yeah. Or, well, don't trust them.
Yeah.
Don't trust the homeless. You don't know where they've been. So this has a lot of the King James, 14th century kind of language. Lots of and all that allusions. But it's supposed to have been written like in 600.
I think it was written like 300. Supposed to have been written in like 300 BC. But the only copies that we have of the the oldest copies of the manuscript we have all date from like 200 AD.
Right.
So no suspicion there as to.
No, this is definitely a translation of a translation, probably.
Yeah, and there's like no references to this book and many of the others in the Apocrypha until well after they were supposed to have been written. Hundreds of years after they were supposed to have been written, which kind of makes you think they probably weren't written when they said they were.
Yeah, I would like to see the audit trail for this. Can we get a Git repository? I think we need to see how this has gone.
Yeah.
There's some edits here. I love that. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Yeah.
The wisdom of the ages right there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, you want to start 30
I guess people actually talk like this?
My understanding is that the King James Version was written in the common vernacular language of the day. So, yeah, not only did people speak like this wasn't the formal, I'm the rich person who's well-educated talking in this manner. This was like the urban translations of the Bible.
Gotcha.
That have all the slang in them.
Accessible Shakespeare kind of stuff here.
Right. And but because it was used in for the written Bible, everybody soon ascribed the language as being highfalutin, rather than being what the ordinary person would say.
Well, I think I have learned something, after all. A woman will receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another. I think I've learned something here, and I think we can all take something from this. Oh, you never know when you're going to find a gem like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gosh. Not what they intended.
Nope.
Every friend saith, I am his friend also, but there is a friend which is only a friend in name. It is not a grief unto death when a companion and friend is turned to an enemy. Sorry, there should be a question mark there. I was just going with the poetry. O wicked imagination, whence cameth thou in to cover the earth with deceit? Interesting story here. Yeah. Not sure where this is going.
Neither is the author.
True.
There is a companion which rejoiceth in the prosperity of a friend, but in the time of trouble will be against him. There is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly, and taketh up the buckler against the enemy.
All right. Yeah. Shields up.
Forget not thy friend in thy mind, and be not unmindful of him in thy riches.
Every counselor extolleth counsel, but there is some that counseleth for himself. Beware of a counselor, and know before what need he hath, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast the lot upon thee. Actually, that's not a bad... There's some wisdom in that line there.
Yeah.
And say unto thee, thy way is good, and afterward he stand on the other side to see what shall befall thee.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, here's the advice, and now I'm going to step back and watch what you do with it.
Consult not with one that suspecteth thee, and hide thy counsel from such as envy thee. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous. That has all kinds of potential meanings there.
There's a lot to this one. Okay, keep going.
Neither with a coward in matters of war, nor with a merchant concerning exchange. Yeah, so don't ask an expert.
No, why bother with that?
Nor with a buyer of selling. Again, don't ask an expert. Nor with an envious man of thankfulness. Huh?
Okay. We're running out of people to talk to. Okay.
Nor with an unmerciful man touching kindness.
An unmerciful man touching kindness.
Yeah. Nor with the slothful for any work. Nor with a hireling for a year of finishing work. Nor with an idle servant of much business. Hearken not unto these in any matter of counsel.
That's okay. Man, I feel like we could have an entire episode just on that one line.
Yeah, because that's just...
what they're meaning by this, what they're meaning by that. You know, like a hireling for a year. It's like, don't ask the apprentice to do the finishing work.
Yeah.
You know, I can see that.
Yeah, I can...
And don't ask the merchant about the exchange because they're probably always going to be after something better for themselves and not in your interest. Yeah. And don't ask the buyer about the selling because then the buyer's going to want the lowest price and it's going to be unfair to the other guy. I can see some of these. Okay, there's sense there.
Yeah, not a lot, but there is some.
Yeah, and you're running out of people to talk to.
Yeah. But to be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
Okay, so that's basically saying right there that the God that, you know, your Lord is in your own head. So he's always going to agree with you, and that's the person you ought to talk to. Yeah. I think something along those lines. And let the counsel be of thine own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful unto thee than it. For a man's mind is sometime won't want to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in a high tower. And above all, this pray to the Most High, that he will direct thy way in truth. I feel like they lost their way on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that went where they were thinking.
Let reason go before every enterprise, and counsel before every action. Okay, that's not bad advice.
Let reason... Yeah, okay, so we'll use reason.
Yeah, right.
Don't ignore reason.
Right.
Because I could kind of see let reason go. You know, you don't need... Yeah, it's like, okay, which one are you talking about here? It's not very specific.
The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart. So your face shows your heart changing.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah. A little body language. You gotta watch for the moves.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna tell.
Yeah. 4 manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongueth rule over them continually. Wait, my tongue can stop death? Woohoo!
Or good and evil, yeah. Life and okay. 4 manner of things appear.
Yeah.
So that would be good, evil, life, and death.
Right.
Because that's the number 4, not... Okay. Interesting. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. There is one that sheweth wisdom in words, and is hated. He shall be destitute of all food.
So the guy that's starving is actually the smartest one in the room.
And so the fever dreams from not having enough food are, just delirium. That's the wisdom in words, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, give the man something to eat. Need a sandwich, for God's sakes. For grace is not given him from the Lord, because he is deprived of all wisdom. Huh?
Yeah, that's a common refrain in reading this book. Huh?
What?
Yeah. Another is wise to himself, and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
A wise man instructeth his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A wise man shall be filled with blessing, and all they that see him shall count him happy.
Okie dokie. The days of the life of man may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable.
Except for the years between 70 A.D. and 1948.
Or when it was part of Guandala land, that thing, yeah. A wise man shall inherit glory among his people, and his name shall be perpetual. My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. Huh?
So, see, if you see something's evil, don't give it more evil.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is as a father to a son, I'm imagining.
I'm guessing.
Okay. Yeah.
Because this is like a collection of sayings. There is like no actual discussion of who the people involved are, or it's not like, Bob woke up on the mountain after eating mushrooms and began to speak, and this is what you end up with.
Pretty true, though. That's about all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
For all things are not profitable for all men, neither hath every soul pleasure in everything. Well, thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats.
But I like the meats.
Yes.
And what is a dainty thing? I mean, that's definitely period specific.
Hors d'oeuvres or finger foods, I don't know, I mean.
Yeah.
Don't don't shout out on the appetizers at Arby's, since they've got the meats.
Dainty things, like don't have a salad? Weird.
Yeah. For excess of meat springeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn into choler. I guess that's supposed to be cholera.
Surfeiting? Okay. Hello, Google.
Yes.
What the hell? Surfeiting. There's nothing so absurd, so surfeiting, so ridiculous as a man heated by wine in his head and wicked gust in his inclination together. So I guess that's drunk. Being drunk. In that kind of way.
Well, cause, according to Google's, cause someone to desire no more of something as a result of having consumed or done it to excess.
Oh, okay. That's like, you want a cigarette? Here, smoke this pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By surfeiting have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I learned anything. not in 37 there. Okay.
Oh.
So on to 38?
Yep.
Okay. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the use which he may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. You know what? There. Good. Thank you. Doctors are there for a reason. Don't eschew the doctors. Go to the doctor. If you say, but the Lord will save me. No, the Lord created the doctor for you to go to him.
Yeah. And how many states is it perfectly legal to let your kid die because you chose prayer over actual medicine?
If the number is not 0, too many.
It is not zero. Yeah.
It is not a non-zero number, so it's too many.
I think it's like 6 or more.
My great-grandfather died because his wife was a Christian Science nurse.
There's a contradiction in terms.
Isn't it, though? Yeah, well, they had these whole, like, sanitariums, basically, and they would allow people in, and they'd treat them according to the word of the Lord, but they wouldn't actually treat them. And, yeah, sure enough, he died, and he was a super powerful person in the town, and basically the town almost lynched her.
Wow.
It was not cool at all. So, this is something that you point out to the Christian scientists out there. It's like, no, medicine's good. Let them practice their craft.
Yeah. Have you heard the Dollop podcast?
No.
Okay, it's these two stand-up comics, and they do a discussion of things in American history that are kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And they have an episode called Serial Men, and Patton Oswalt is a guest on that.
Okay.
And it's all about John Harvey Kellogg,
the Kellogg, yeah.
And C.W. Post and all those guys. And, like, C.W. Post committed suicide because he was in so much pain from appendicitis.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and this was in the 30s, so he certainly could have gotten operated on. And
sure. Not that he would have necessarily survived the operation.
But, yeah.
But, yeah, he could have sought other medical means.
Yeah.
So,
but, it's a weird discussion about all the stuff. And I think Kellogg was a Christian Scientist. He was, he didn't necessarily believe in, standard medical treatments for the time. And,
he was a kook. Yeah, he was so kook. Okay, so carry on here.
Yeah.
For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the King. And also you'll feel better.
Yeah.
The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. So, thank your doctors, folks.
Yeah.
Tip your server.
Enjoy the veal, or tip the veal and enjoy your waitress. That's how it goes.
Oh, hey now.
The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
Good. I can, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was the water... Yeah. Was the water not made sweet with wood? Huh? How do you make water sweet?
I guess you can.
Yeah, well, we know now that you can use wood to filter water, but I don't think they knew that back then.
Well, this is sweet with wood, so I think it's imparting something from the wood to the water.
Yeah. Not
the other way around.
I don't know. So
then the virtue, therefore, might be known. So, hey, try it out. Don't knock it till you try it, huh?
It's like the $6 bottles of asparagus water that
nice.
Whole Foods was trying to sell.
Yeah. Maybe this is like wormwood.
Ah.
Yeah, got to add a little bit of the herb there.
Yeah. And he that hath given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous works.
I'm kind of liking this 38 here. It's not bad. Yeah, this is pretty good for the doctors.
Yeah.
Everyone has their skills. Why not use them? They were given to them by the Lord, after all.
Yeah.
But it's a great argument.
But what if your skills are in the bedroom?
Then to every man haveth his skills.
Yeah.
Okay. With such doth he heal men, and taketh away their pains. Of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and his works there is no end, and from him is peace all over the earth. Okay. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. By using the doctors.
Yes. Yeah.
He has given the world.
Yes.
Use the medicines from the apothecary. Yeah. Use the doctors. Use the surgeons. Use all these because the Lord hath created them.
Yes.
Ugh.
Leave off from sin and order thine hands aright and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. Okay?
Sure.
Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour. So you make a tombstone out of flour?
A sweet savor, a memorial of fine flour, and then a fat offering?
And make a fat offering as not being. What?
As not being. Okay, maybe in the next.
Then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him.
So, don't eschew the old traditions of offerings and all that. Still be of the faith, but don't let your faith be the only thing.
I'm thinking that's got to be what it means.
Okay, I can get down with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish there were more passages like this in any other of the holy writs.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a time when in their hands there is good success. Okay. Is this an apologetic for doctors? I guess maybe it is.
Or no.
Who wrote this? Was there a doctor in the house? Doctor in the house. For they shall also pray unto the Lord that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. So they're imparting a blessing upon the things that they do to you, or for you, or no, probably to you.
Yeah.
He that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician. Wait, that's kind of sinister.
Yeah.
I don't know where that went.
I don't know. My son, let tears fall down over the dead and begin to lament as if thou hadst suffered great harm thyself, and then cover his body according to the custom, and neglect not his burial. Weep bitterly, and make great moans, and use lamentation, as he is worthy, and that a day or two, lest thou be evil spoken of, and then comfort thyself for thy heaviness.
Okay.
Yeah. For of heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength. So it's basically telling you to mourn yourself to death when somebody dies?
Maybe this is just the sign of grief, that it's okay to grieve for, like, I lost a foot. I'm really sad that I lost a foot.
Did you look behind the couch?
I don't know. I haven't looked there. Maybe the cat ate it.
It could be.
Cat ran away with it. In affliction also sorrow remaineth, and the life of the poor is the curse of the heart.
Amen to that.
The life of the poor is the curse of the heart. We need to get that on a button or something. That's a bumper sticker. Take no heaviness to heart. Drive it away, and member the last end.
Butt stuff.
Member the last end. All right, yeah, it could be. Could be the butt stuff. All right, so. Forget it not, for there is no turning again. Thou shalt not do him good, but hurt thyself. Okay, so I guess this is the turn the other cheek thing. You're only hurting yourself if you don't forgive someone else.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember thy judgment, for thine also shall be so. Yesterday for me, and today for thee.
It's turn the other cheek. Yeah. That's where this is.
When the dead is at rest, let his remembrance rest, and be comforted for him when his spirit is departed from him. So forget about all those dead guys.
Let the dead be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that have little business shall become wise.
Okay, that took a different turn than everything else. So we went from, the doctors, let the doctors treat your ills. It's okay. I thy Lord say that it's fine because I made them too. And then into now when they screw up.
Yeah.
And don't neglect your burials because yes, they're going to die because things didn't work out so well. But don't blame the doctors and don't blame the dead.
Yeah.
I think that's where all that is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
What's the old saying? Surgeons get to bury their mistakes.
Oh, dark. That went dark. Okay. Not wrong. Not wrong. Okay. How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plough, and that glorieth in the goad? What's a goad? That driveth oxen, and is occupied in their labors, and whose talk is of bullocks. Really?
Yeah.
Bullocks? That's in here? That is so not... That's not period at all. He giveth his mind to make furrows, and is diligent to give the kine fodder.
That's cows.
Kine fodder is okay.
That's cow. Kine is a term for cattle.
Oh, all right. So this one here ends with a colon, so it's setting up the next line. So every carpenter and workmaster that laboreth night and day, and that they cut and grave seals, and are diligent to make great variety, and give themselves to counterfeit imagery, and watch to finish a work. So now we're getting to the graven images, I guess.
Looks that way.
I'm not sure how that relates to everything else, but okay, cool.
Yeah. The smith also, sitting by the anvil, and considering the ironwork, the vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh. Yeah, that's because I used arsenic. And he fighteth with the heat of the furnace, the noise of the hammer and the anvil is ever in his ears, and his eyes look still upon the pattern of the thing that he maketh. He setteth his mind to finish his work, and watcheth to polish it perfectly. Wonder if he's making knobs.
It's because he wants to get paid.
Yeah.
It's his job. Come on.
So doth the potter sitting at his work, and turning the wheel about with his feet, who is always carefully set at his work, and maketh all his work by number.
By number. Okay. Well, I guess following the rules, like this first, then this second. That we got to do this and this and this and this. In order.
I guess. He fashioneth the clay with his arm, and boweth down his strength before his feet. He applieth himself to lead it over, and he is diligent to make clean the furnace.
Okay, so we went from talking about the death and spiritualism there with doctors and health, and now we're into plowshares and ironworking and potters.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing how this relates to the whole section. It seems to be a little disjointed. Okay, so all these trust to their hands, and every one is wise in his work. Without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. Okay. They shall not be sought for in public council, nor sit high in congregation. They shall not sit in the judge's seat, nor understand the sentence of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken. But they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft. Okay. So, this is are there no workhouses? This is Dickens stuff here.
Yeah.
This is you can't imagine the guy that's on the farm or the iron worker or the potter, the craftsman. You can't imagine the people that actually work with their hands to have the thought of mind to put towards things like judging people and the declaratives of passing judgment and parables and wisdom. You can't expect them to have wisdom. They're just working folk.
Yeah.
How pathetic.
And never mind that a city won't survive without them, but just they're garbage.
Right. No, you just have to let them do that work, and don't expect them to get beyond their station ever.
Yes. Wow.
Interesting. That went places that I didn't expect it. It was pretty good, and then it went no. Eat the poor.
Yeah.
How about the poor eat the rich? I think that's going with that.
Yeah. All right, let's roll into 39, and that should be enough to wrap up the hour. I do believe.
Okay.
So, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Okay.
Uh-huh. So this is the layabouts that have the time to think about these things.
Yes.
We're just moving right on to that.
Yeah. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences, and be conversant in dark parables.
Ah, okay, so you want to hear a story, little man? He shall serve among great men, and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men. Okay, so this is a circuit court judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, riding the circuit. He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him. He will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer, and make supplication for his sins. Okay, so he has to be a godly man. When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences, and give thanks unto the Lord in his prayer. I'm the mouthpiece. Listen to me.
Yeah. He shall direct his counsel in knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate. That's what you're calling it now.
Yeah.
He shall shew forth that which he hath learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord.
Sharia.
Yeah. Many shall commend his understanding, and so long as the world endureth, it shall not be blotted out. His memorial shall not depart away, and his name shall live from generation to generation. But you just said to forget about the dead.
Yeah, well, only how the dead died, I guess, and then to let them be. But I guess we should always remember. No, we should always remember the high counselors.
Right, the poor people.
We should always remember those people. But the potter and the iron worker. No, we should forget those folk.
Yeah.
Nations shall shew forth his wisdom, and the congregation shall declare his praise. If he die, he shall leave a greater name than 1,000, and if he live, he shall increase it. Wait. Okay, so if he dies, then everybody's going to know his name. But if he lives, he's just going to increase it. I don't know. All of this makes better sense if you say it as Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right.
Yet I have more to say, which is I have thought upon. Which I have thought upon, for I am filled as the moon at the full. I don't know. Maybe that still would have been better with Walken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hearken unto me, ye holy children, and bud forth as a rose growing by the brook of the field. And give ye a sweet savour as frankincense, and flourish as a lily. Send forth a smell, and sing a song of praise. Bless the Lord in all his works.
Okay, so frankincense was used heavily to conceal body odor.
Right. Which is
so.
I always found it funny that the three wise men supposedly gave, Mary at Jesus' birth frankincense and myrrh, which were embalming substances in that era. It's like,
yeah. Well, you're going to need this later.
Yeah. Probably sooner than you think.
Trust us, you're going to need it.
Magnify his name and shew forth his praise with the songs of your lips, and with harps, and in praising him ye shall say after this manner.
Okay, so I guess, and here is how you say it. All the works of the Lord are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commandeth shall be accompanied in due season. And none may say, What is this? Wherefore is that? For at a time convenient they shall be sought out. At his commandment the waters stood as a heap, and at the words of his mouth the receptacles of water. What?
Yeah. So,
his commandments the waters stood as an heap, and at the words of his mouth the receptacles of water. This sounds like a puzzle. Like I'm supposed to do this for, some like Myst game or something,
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay. At his commandment is done whatsoever pleaseth him, and none can hinder when he will save. And none can hinder when he can save. Okay, so nobody's going to stop him. When he's ready to save, he's going to do it. You can't stop him. Oh, no.
No.
He work on his own pleasure. It pleaseth him.
Well, what gets me is they're saying all the works of the Lord are exceeding good, which means, because earlier in the Bible it says, I am the Lord God, I create goodness and evilness. So even God's evil is good.
That would be the logical contradiction that exists in all of the Christianity, and well, I guess that also exists in Islam too.
Yeah.
Because of course Allah is all good. Yeah.
The works of all flesh are before him, and nothing can be hid from his eyes. He seeth from everlasting to everlasting, and there is nothing wonderful before him.
Okay, I'm all eternal.
Yeah. And I am an emo god because everything is horrible.
Everything is awful.
A man need not to say, What is this? Wherefore is that? For he hath made all things for their uses.
Okay, so they're just reusing that character set. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
His blessing covered the dry land as a river, and watered it as a flood. Okay, so maybe you're a little bit too clingy there, God. You're smothering us.
Yeah.
As he hath turned the waters into saltness, so shall the heathen inherit his wrath. Hey, he's talking about us.
I think so.
As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. No kidding. No kidding. I'm stumbled.
Yep. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. Huh?
That's why he made evil. He made it us. Just for us.
The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing.
Wouldn't it be great if instead of we say olive oil or grape juice, we say I need blood of the grape and blood of the olive?
Well, I saw a meme that somebody made not too long ago, and it was a wine glass that had wine in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And standing at the edge of the wine glass, on the rim of it, was a grape that had been, with arms and legs and a face drawn onto it, that was peeing into the wine glass, and it says how wine is made.
Nice.
All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. Yes, no sinner likes water. No. Or
no.
honey, milk. But I will say that if you're if you hate wheat because you're into the paleo diet nonsense, then yeah, you are evil.
Well, I do enjoy the blood of the grape. I will say.
Yep.
There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay, so this is talking about vengeful spirits for God?
It looks that way.
And that they're performing this vengeance because God wills it. Okay, all right, so. Bloody vengeance! Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Oh, the 4 horsemen. Okay, all right. Teeth of the wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Is this where we get sword mouth Jesus?
I'm thinking.
It must be sword mouth Jesus.
They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is and when their time is come. They shall not transgress his word. Therefore, from the beginning I was resolved and thought upon these things, and have left them in writing.
Okay, and
Yeah.
we're reading his diary right now.
Yes.
Dear diary, I hate the world. I think I'm going to drown them all.
God is an angsty.
I regret creating man.
God is an angsty emo teenager.
Yeah.
All the works of the Lord are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Want me to wrap these two up?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So that a man cannot say, this is the worst. This is worse than that, for in time they shall all be well approved. Huh? This, so that a man cannot say, this is worse than that, for in time they shall all be well approved. It's not for you to say whether that's good or bad.
Right.
That's up for God to say at the time of judgment.
Yes.
And therefore praise ye the Lord with the whole heart and mouth. And bless the name of the Lord. Ramen.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
In that this would fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
All you have to do is pop on and this is the book of Paul or Peter or some other apostle, and there you go. It's just these are the letters to some sect that didn't really make the hit list in the beginning.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
Letters to the Ephesians, but not.
Yeah.
It's interesting in that it's some of the. I mean, it fits very well, obviously, in the King James, tradition. All the words are very similar, very flowery, flourished language. But yeah, I wonder. It would have been great to be a fly on the wall at the Council of Nicaea, Second Council of Nicaea, to figure out why they dropped some things and included the others.
Yeah.
If there's any time period in history that I would like to travel back to, just as an observer, you cannot kill baby Hitler, but you can go back and you can see what happened and figure out why. I think that would have been a really interesting highlight reel.
Yeah. It's bizarre. I know that somebody recently found the diary of one of the guys who was involved in creating the King James Bible, but so far as I know, they haven't published that guy's diary as of yet. They've quoted from it in academic works, but it's not hit.
So it does exist if they're quoting it as a cited source, then
yeah, but that's not the Council of Nicaea, which was even farther back. But even then, it would still be interesting to figure out why they put some things in the King James and didn't put other things, because some of the Apocrypha was in there for a while, and then they pulled it out. I don't remember exactly when they pulled it out, but they did.
Yeah, well, neither does King Henry. He doesn't know either.
Yeah. All right.
He doesn't know when he pulled out either. So,
All right. Why don't you tell everybody about your podcast, which I was on last night?
Yes, and we had a great time. Nice long conversation about everything.
Yeah.
And so I am the host and creator of the ORLY Radio podcast, and that's ORLY, ORLY radio.com. You can find us out there. But it's all started from the little meme of the little snowy owl with, "Oh, really?" Asking that question. So that's kind of what we do. We try a lot of edutainment, trying to go through, make sense of the world, and be educational, but also entertaining. And basically that stems from if we don't laugh at all of this nonsense, we're going to cry about it. So we can't do that. So laugh with us, folks. Laugh with us. The joke's on us. We might as well laugh. Yeah. So you can find us live just about every Friday when life permits at 9:30 p.m. Eastern at ORLYradio.com, ORLYradio.com, and also out on their Facebook page, and we have a Twitch stream too. So we do video and all that, and have a pretty good panel of interesting, somewhat like-minded people. And sometimes we do actually get some conservatives in there, and we talk them up. It's not strictly atheist. It's really just current events, politics, and whatever floats your boat. Lots of science and good stuff. Yeah, at least I try. Trump is dominating the news, so we're trying to get away from that, but he just dominates all the news cycle. Yeah, with all his bluster. So, but we're working on it, and you too. Send us notes on what you want us to cover, and we'll look at it.
All right, sounds good. I'll have a link to all that in the show notes, and I want to thank you for being a Patreon of my show.
Absolutely. We should all support each other.
Yes.
Everyone out there, support Tucker.
All right, I thank you.
That's it for this episode of The Atheist in the Trailer Park Podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, as well as just about anywhere else podcasts can be found. Many of the episodes are also on YouTube. Follow the show on Twitter. @TParkAtheist is the show's Twitter handle. It's on Facebook at facebook.com/trailerparkatheist.com. If you happen to like the podcast, please rate it on iTunes. If you'd like to support the podcast, there's a donate button on the show notes page. You can support it via Patreon at patreon.com/TNTucker. Thanks for listening.
Say goodnight, Fuzz-Nuts.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
Damned cat.